Here is one major problem. Finding a vaccine often takes time and requires technology. Tonight, WFAA's William Joy shows us data that proves North Texans hit hardest by this virus are being left behind in this race to vaccinate.
COVID may not have created all of America's problems, but it has exposed and magnified them.
Hit my family, and it hit my family hard.
Malik Carruthers got registered for a vaccine by accident.
It's important for everybody to be vaccinated.
He and his mom came to their southern Dallas church for a food box and didn't know he could sign up till volunteers approached them.
I feel good. A lot of people don't have the opportunity to do this.
COVID numbers are tough to sift through, but they tell a simple and old story.
It seems like a lot of us are dying from it.
Disadvantaged and minority communities are hurting the most, but getting the fewest vaccines. We looked at state data showing vaccinations by zip code and combined it with U.S. Census Bureau data of population and income. What we found was the vaccine rate and gaps in equality. For instance, the most vaccinated 1% of zip codes in Texas are bringing home more than $121,000. But the least vaccinated zip codes are bringing home $46,000.
Some of this is, not ill will. I think it's structural.
Richie Butler is a senior pastor at St. Luke Community United Methodist and says the planning for distributing vaccines started too late.
You would assume that you'd have a game plan that would sort of effectively level the playing field.
Let's look at University Park, zip code 75225, where the median household income is $161,000. Nearly 39% of people who live here have received at least one shot. But in the zip code where the actual Fair Park vaccine site is located, 75210, the median household income is $28,000, and the vaccine rate here is just 7%.
The statistics that you share are very concerning to us. We know that we still have a challenge in terms of data.
I asked the head of the White House's Health Equity Task Force how she's grading the vaccine effort.
Different groups should be vaccinated at the rates in their population, and that's our target and our goal.
But that isn't happening. Across Dallas, Tarrant, Collin, and Denton counties, the vaccination rate for white residents is an average of 48% higher than their share of the population. But Hispanics are vaccinated 50% less than their share, and black residents 43% less.
The story of health care in America is a story of health disparities.
Roy Charles Brooks is a Tarrant County Commissioner and believes the outreach so far hasn't made the impact he wants.
We have not been able to move the needle in a significant way.
4% of people vaccinated by Denton County are black. But black people make up nearly 3 times that level of the county's population. The health director says they're going in order of who signed up first and can't prioritize, but state officials say they should be prioritizing. 7% of Tarrant County residents vaccinated are Hispanic, but they make up nearly 30% of the county. And 86% of vaccines at Baylor, Scott, and White and Plano are going to white people. State data shows only Dallas County Public Health and Parkland Hospital are close to in line with the area's diversity.
Identified vulnerable populations, vulnerable areas.
Dallas County Health Director Dr. Phil Wong says the state's switch from neighborhood pharmacies to big hub sites created a fairness challenge.
So it's that balance of how do we get it out quickly, but how do we get it out equitably?
The gap exists because of simple but often overlooked reasons. Among the country's 10 largest cities, Dallas is last in the percent of people connected to the internet. More than a third of people are without it in Arlington and Fort Worth.
It is a digital divide. There were certainly people who are more tech savvy.
FEMA set up sites targeting disadvantaged communities like the site at the Arlington stadiums.
There's a problem with that, in that Globe Life Field is not on anybody's bus line.
Sometimes you got to go outside of your comfort zone. Everybody can't get to Fair Park. Everybody can't get to the convention center.
When there's a lack of technology, lack of transportation, and lack of trust, it's not surprising there's a lack of vaccinations. Many counties are providing free rides, and registration sites have popped up across North Texas. Some providers are even taking vaccines directly to people.
I think we got to think out of the box and do things that we've never done before, because we're dealing with something we've never dealt with before.
Eventually, all who want a vaccine will get one, and eventually the numbers should level off. Let's hope we don't eventually forget the problems COVID exposed and magnified. I'm William Joy.
We have more details and numbers showing this fairness gap, and we want to share them with you. We've set up an interactive map where you can see the current vaccination rate and median household income for every zip code in Texas. Now, this is on our website, but if you text the word equity to 214-977-6028, we will send you the link. Again, that number is 214-977-6028.